lonely hearts, troubled minds, looking for a way that we can never find. Many roads are ahead of us, with choices to be made.
Welcome. You are about to take a journey to a place of the divine love within with Deborah Buffet on the Love by Intuition show. For the next hour, allow her to prepare you in becoming a magnet for a profound love-infused relationship by identifying and focusing on solutions through love. Awaken the light within and let your essence shine. And now, here's Deborah Buffet on Love by Intuition, all part of the Dream Vision 7 radio network.
Welcome, everyone. Bonjour, mes amis. And yes, here I am, Deborah Beauvais, the founder and owner of the Dream Vision 7 radio network. We are a Boston-based syndicated internet radio station with all the bells and whistles to listen to us, whether it's online, mobile, in cars with Bluetooth, through Amazon's Echo, just by asking her, Alexa, play Dream Vision 7 radio network. We have the apps, everything to bring our station to wherever you are, whether you're in this country or beyond. Well, we have a great show for you today, and to keep in mind that the show is live and you can call in. Bob is in the house, and our toll-free number is 833-220-1200. I wanted to have Tania and James John Malaniak on to talk about Tania's book and the importance of autism, and many of the parents worldwide struggle, have questions. They may feel they don't have the support that other parents have with other issues that kids have. So this is just a show all about what parents are going through and what they are going through and how they've arrived to an amazing son that I believe is 16 years old now. So the book that Tania has written is When Autism Becomes the New Awesome, the story of how my son beat the odds and secrets parents need to know. So welcome to the show, Tania and James John.
Thank you so much, Deborah. It's a real honor to be on your show today, and thank you for allowing the opportunity for us to come on.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you both. It's our honor to have you. So let's start with talking. Tell the listeners a little bit about Cade from when he started to today. You know, just a little overview of this amazing individual.
Okay, well, it started off actually quite young. Our journey where autism became a part of our lives started when he was very young, actually. We noticed there were a lot of changes in his behavior well before he was the age of 2 even. He was doing really strange motions and things that, like repetitive motions, things that babies his age don't typically do. He did a lot of spinning on his jolly jumper, a lot of strange eye movements, a lot of waving of the hands. So we were really certain that there was something unusual going on with him at that young age. So, and there was no eye contact during that time. He developed very slowly. He didn't hit his milestones when he was supposed to. And as he got a little bit older, we even suspected that he might be deaf because there was actually no reaction to when we called his name or when we tried communicating with him in any way. There was absolute no attachment or focus on what we were trying to relay to him. And as he continued to grow, things got more complicated. And he continued to miss the milestones with walking and creating sentences, even short 2-3-word sentences was quite a challenge for us. And so we really expected the very worst, to be honest, and that's pretty much the prognosis that we got from the doctors after we had him assessed. When we learned that he wasn't deaf, it was simply his neurological development that wasn't happening the way one would expect and hope for. It was a really tough journey for us at that time.
He was. Well, you know, I mean, I think it took us both differently. For me, you know, I guess being always connected, I was always okay with, you know, hey, your son is diagnosed with severe autism. Okay, what is severe autism? I don't even know what it is, but I already, you know, you ask your guides and angels, and they're like, it's okay. And coming from Tania's perspective is, oh my God, are you kidding me? I have, in her eyes, a broken son, because here's a woman who never smoked, never drank, never did drugs, never had a tattoo, never did anything in this world except, you know, she's a vegetarian, she eats organic, she does everything what, say, society tells you, in the book tells you, just to be a good person, this is who I want to be. And to be born to be a mother, that was her whole full focus, was to be this absolute mother. And to find out, first of all, she had to have a C-section was, like, we thought our biggest
devastation.
You know, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God, I need a C-section. They're going to pump medicine into my body, and it's going to go to the baby. And oh my goodness, you don't know, like, how much, I guess, pressure I put upon myself, and it wasn't healthy. I see now in hindsight, but at the time I was really terrified by that. Yeah,
and that was the nothing compared to when she found out that, you know, our child had severe autism. It just broke her. It broke her in two and smashed her and did everything under the
kind of like, you know, God, why did you do this to us? Like, I did everything right. I was a good girl growing up, you know.
Right, and that's all natural. That, you know, from understanding that and other diseases, it is the question, why is this happening? What did I do? And I know for a mom, I mean, it sounds like your whole goal was to have a child. Was Cade your first child?
Yes, for sure. He was our first. And yeah, and it's funny because on my side of the family, I was the very first cousin, let's say, to have a child, a baby in the family. So of all my cousins, of my only brother, I was the eldest, and I am the eldest, and I was the first to have a child. So no one really was there to go to help guide me. You know, I had no sister to go to. Hey, how did you deal with this? Or you know, it was kind of like I was on my own. And my mom, every time I would talk to her, she'd say, "I don't remember anything. For goodness' sake, this was 26 years ago." You know, so so she wanted to help, but she couldn't remember a lot of how to raise a baby. You know,
right.
But from the beginning, you know, we said, okay, this is what it is, right? We moved forward, and we did the best we knew how. We just got tons of knowledge of what autism is and what it is. I mean, in the book, it tells you so much of what we went through. It's just, people contact us and email us all the time and go, how are you even living today after what you went through? But they're so inspired because we never stopped trying. And really what I want Tania to talk about is where the shift really happened. That's the major thing, because we did every gluten-free diet. We did hyperbarics. We're in oxygen chambers. We did every diet. We
herbal
did
medications. Like
you
herbal
name
medicine,
it, we've done it.
Everything. We
and hyperbaric. Wow, you did the chamber.
We did. We also...
I'm curious, how many sessions?
I believe it was
40.
Not 40 sessions.
It wasn't 40?
No, I think it was 10 or something.
No.
Okay.
I was the one who kept... I felt like I was the one who kept going in the chambers with him, and it just felt very long. So, good adventure.
Yes.
We actually did a lot of homeopathy with him. In fact, that's how we inoculated him. We vaccinated him through homeopathy. And so we liked that. We did really everything that we could get our hands on. It was very expensive, but we felt like we had no choice. We really had to explore every avenue there was in the world to help our kiddo.
Did you ever, the two of you, did you ever disagree with each other? And that's another component that could come in with what you're doing with Kate?
Yeah, with the alternative medicines and stuff like that, we never disagreed, I don't think. We were always communicating with each other, and if he heard of something new, I'd say, let's try it, and vice versa. I heard of something new, he'd say, let's try it. So we were very much on the same page, thankfully.
Yes, and Deborah, at the end of the day, how we felt, because, you talk to a lot of people who are parents who have children with autism, and like for a whole year span, how much did their child really change? And what happened with us is that everything that we kept trying, it would be like 0.05%, it would change. 1% would change, 0.03% would change. But by the end of the year, you might get almost like 5% change. And that's a massive big deal.
That's massive, yes.
Massive. But, I don't know how many things we'd even do in a year. But we kept going, and go ahead.
Yeah, so we kept going. And as he got older, we had new challenges.
Yes, you got more depressed.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I became gloomier, certainly, and darkness took over my soul and my heart, and I was angry, and I was bitter, and I was resentful, and I was not on good terms with God. Let me be honest with you. I was pretty upset, and I just had one focus on my mind, and it was getting Kate better. And I put everything else aside, my own well-being. I put aside my marriage. I put aside, and when I say put aside, it was on the back burner. I don't care about you guys and your feelings and my feelings. I have to fix Kate. I have to fix him. And
right, and I bet that fix stayed in your mind all for quite some time.
Yes, and I've come to realize now, and I write it in my book, how that negativity, that fixated obsession where I filled myself with hatred and I filled myself with resentment and anger to the world and anger with the situation, it just continued to feed Cade's autism, actually. And though he made some improvements here and there, his behaviors began to become demonic, to be perfectly honest. Not demonic. I'm not being all like, he was overtaken by the devil. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he had tantrums that were so violent, he would harm himself and he would harm me, and nothing would set them off, and everything would set them off. So it was a battle, a daily battle, having to deal with this child who, even at the age of 2, was significantly stronger than I, and I'm a fitness instructor. His anger was so powerful that it was hard to put him in a car seat. And it would take me a good half hour to an hour to get him settled in a car seat while he was having a tantrum. Or I'd take him to the grocery store and he'd be banging his head, or attempting to bang his head on the bar of the shopping cart. And it was very scary, because there were times where I was, oh my God, this child needs a helmet, or I can't go anywhere in public with him without him hurting me, without him hurting himself. So the deeper I got into my depression, the more these behaviors became apparent, and they were happening on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And but one day, a miracle, like a miracle from heaven, happened with the help of James, because he had been praying for this miracle to happen. And that miracle was, I finally realized all the harm that I was bringing upon our family by having this negative, the ego overtake and just completely take over my life. And it was affecting the entire family and clearly affecting Kate. But I was left with that miracle of realization that, because I feel like a lot of people in my state who are depressed, who are suffering, they don't realize that they are in fact in that state, that maybe they have some control over that, and they can fix that if they just kind of surrender to what is happening and say, hey, I don't want this negativity in my body anymore. It happens. I mean, James, like I said, do you want to explain?
Well, no, I just want to even say, I mean, she talks about it in the book, and it's so raw, how she speaks. And I just want to say, and it's not something that you probably want to say, because I get very sensitive even just talking about this issue sometimes, is, I found a letter next to her bed one time, deep in her drawer, that was basically a suicide note to say that, I want to throw my 2 kids and myself off the 35th floor of the condo we were living at. And it was even in her handwriting, but it was in her word. You know what I'm saying? So she was so unconscious of the madness that took over her mind for allowing this to happen. And she was so desperate. And when the ego knows and can come in and take over, it will house inside